Yo, what's up, Gamma Gang? We're back with another episode of the Gamma Wave podcast, presented to you by Empowerment Essentials. I am your host, Caleb, and you may be wondering, man, it's been a while, Caleb. Where you been? Where you been? Well, I'm here to answer that question for you because where have I been? And today's episode of the Gamma Wave will be a little bit different compared to some of the other episodes. Particularly, I want to review the G to the A to the M to the M to the A, because each of those letters, if you're not familiar, it stands for gaming, anime, movies, music, and arts. So in this episode, I want to go down each of those letters, share something that resonates with me, and hopefully, we're going to get this podcast up to the double digits. So this is episode number 6. So we're almost there. I want to definitely get well into the double digits. And let's get started. Again, for those that are joining us, that are new, this Gamma Wave podcast is meant to help people unlock their flow state. It's meant to help you and support you on your way to reaching your goals as a health professional and just a human being that loves to empower and encourage others. We just want to make sure that you have your fuel in your tank, because I feel like you need that positivity somewhere in your life, and I just want to be at least one of those stops. Without further ado, and I have my notes here, and I'm just making sure I got everything situated here. I can hear a lot of noises, and I don't know if it's coming through on the mic, and maybe too late into the recording to find out if it'll disturb you as a listener and watcher. I'll try to work it out. It's been a while. It's been a little while. So I apologize if the audio is unbearable. I'll try to work on that. So, G. So starting with the gaming, a character that resonates with me from a couple different games would be Jann Lee from Dead or Alive. And I would pick Charmeleon / Charizard from Ash's lineup. So let's start with Jann Lee. I'm a big Bruce Lee fan, and Jann Lee is modeled after Bruce Lee's fighting style, his mannerisms, everything. So he's a very determined individual. He has his sights set on his goal, and he has a no-nonsense approach, almost like a Rock Lee. If we pull in Naruto characters too, he's like a Rock Lee or Might Guy, where he's all hands. He's all right here. And there's no shortcuts to what he's trying to achieve. So I picked that character. That's my I choose my character guy. And what is your character? If you had to choose a character that resonates with you, that would define your year so far, who would that be? Tell me in the comments. I want to know who you guys are choosing. I also like Ash's Charmeleon and Charizard just because he's a feisty, scrappy. I think scrappy is a really good word to describe Ash's Charmeleon / Charizard, because what he may have lacked in technique, maybe experience, he made up for it in his drive and his determination. And that's something that definitely will echo in this episode of Gamma Wave, is you'll hear themes of determination. And just like this episode title is named, it's named Dialing In Your Frequency for Success. You have to be determined. You have to have a little scrappiness to your the way you go about your business to get there. So that's my G. A is for anime, an anime that, well, I have a few anime. So one of them is Sakamoto Days. I just caught up with all the anime. So I really love that anime because it gives a slightly different change to the shonen anime that I'm used to watching. So the main character, he's much older. He has different priorities and responsibilities in life. Yet, how he goes about his business, he has to be able to balance and juggle everything while still being the guy. Even while others may look at him as past his prime, like he's still got it. Like he's no pushover. I'll say that. So another area that I definitely drew inspiration from over the first part of the year, and I'm also caught up in One Piece. I never thought I'd be able to say that because I wasn't an early adopter of One Piece. I definitely was aware of the anime, and I was just going to jump on once it finished, and it never did. So I just had to jump right in and catch up, and it's been a really cool ride. I'm not going to go into detail on that, but I'm really excited about these remaining arcs that are yet to come, even in the manga. So I'm all the way caught up in the manga, so I'm really excited about that. No spoilers here. I just want to say it's really great so far. It's peak. So let's go. Let's go One Piece. Our first M is for movies, and a big movie that is definitely important to me is Michael. So Michael, the elements that we're discussing in Michael, I'll kind of plant the seeds for them now or tease them, and then we'll come to them later. One of the big things is the self affirmations and being your best and biggest cheerleader. Um, so I'll leave it at that. But just talking about the movie itself, of course, great music. The acting was great. It also made me remember how when I was a kid, dancing was very much a part of just my expression. So I can remember being 4, 5, 6 years old at the earliest, and whenever music would come on, I would just be going. And so I miss that self expression. I don't dance as much as I used to as an adult now, but I think I want to get back to it because there's something freeing about dancing. There's something freeing and just good vibes. Like you get some good vibes going with dancing. So that was my that was a gift for me watching the movie. It's like, oh yeah, like I used to do these things, and there's parts of the movie where I got emotional in a good way because of the dancing, and I was just like, oh man, I need to get back to doing more of that. Speaking of getting back to doing more of something, the second M, music, I'm back to drumming. Yes, I'm a drummer. I may have mentioned that before, and this year has been a really cool year because I've made a return to playing my instrument. So again, that just does something for my soul. It does something for my mind, and of course, it's very physical, and I'm a physical person. So I get to fuse all those different elements and just have this expression. So I'm really happy for the opportunity I had earlier this year to do a couple gigs, come out of, I wouldn't say retirement, but just get me back on the court. Coach put me in, coach. It's a really cool moment, and I'm really happy to continue along this journey and go from there. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but let me know what are some of your instruments that you play? Are you interested in maybe playing an instrument if you've never have before? If you are a seasoned musician, let me know in the comments what your chosen instrument or instruments are. Maybe you're multi-talented, and yeah, I'd like to know. And also, yeah, what did you think of that Michael movie? Me, Again, I enjoyed it, but what did you think of it? Finally, wrapping up G.A.M.M.A with our arts. So this final one has to do with me growing and stretching outside my comfort zone because I took up an improv class. So improv, something very foreign to me, but I did it because I wanted to work on my communication and being able to think on my feet. I'm very much a structured person. I like to have the A all the way to the all the way through Z, and some contingencies. And if something goes off track, I'm kind of at a loss. So I figured I need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and going off script. And improv definitely helped me do that because my biggest fear is my fellow performers are going to say something and I'm not going to know what to say. Well, that's kind of the whole point. It's called improv for a reason, right, Caleb? I hear you. But again, I just got so nervous. I've never got so nervous for anything in my life. Like I remember driving to the improv studio and I was just driving. My neck and was pinching my ears. Basically, that's how tense I was. And after those first couple of days, I was all sore down here just because I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. So um, that's one of the arts I dabbled in. Had a lot of fun. Classes were amazing. My fellow Improv 101 classmates, they're all brilliant and they definitely pushed me to be a better performer, improvisational dude, whatever you want to call it. Another thing was taking stand up comedy. Incoming bad health joke in three, two, one. I thought it would like stop the right thing. Well, I think I'm kind of healthy. It takes a lot of consistent diet and exercise. And it's true what they say, you are what you eat. But honestly, most healthy people don't taste that great. Okay, so bad joke. Okay, let's move past that. So I ended up taking two classes, and again, that was something else to help me with my communication. From time to time, as a nutrition professional, a registered dietitian, I do public speaking, whether it's like at events or big groups or small nutrition workshops. And so I find it helpful to be humorous to help with engagement. I kind of have a tendency to be very direct and serious, A to B to C, and then moving on. Having areas where there's some humor, or you can make a joke, or make an unexpected comment that kind of makes everyone laugh, just makes the presentation more memorable. So those are things that I've learned from those experiences where I've been, since I haven't been in front of you, the G.A.M.M.A gang. So that's where I've been. Let me know, what you've been up to. I see, I have a couple of you out there that I kind of see what you're doing. So I just want to, I see you out there, keep working. I'm really excited to see the stuff that you're developing. That's really exciting. And for those of you that I haven't shared or I don't have the exposure to, definitely let me know. Again, I'm here rooting for you here as we each try to, achieve that success in our journey. So speaking of success in our journey, again, today's title is dialing in your frequency for success. Let that marinate. Dialing in your frequency for success. Yeah. So this was inspired by seeing Michael Jackson's self-affirmations, and we're actually going to take a look at some of those right now. So in the movie, they showed this very briefly, and I tried my best on the big screen to see, what are the different things that he's writing on his mirror, in his workspace. And so one of the things, at least what I can find on the internet, and some of these were in the movie as well, so I can I think they are true. Some of these affirmations where I am beautiful, I'm gorgeous, God is for me, who can be against me? I'm a new person, knowing the secrets and determined with fire to move mountains in all I do. I'm like, ooh, yeah. I'm a new person now, beautiful, knowing the secrets, and determined with fire to move mountains in all I do. Molding my own world. I'm beautiful. The old me is behind. I will march ahead anew. And I think there's a couple other ones that maybe I didn't get a chance to fully see when it goes to streaming. Definitely gonna check those out more. And I bring that up because I feel like the internal script, the internal dialogue that we tell ourselves, that is the programming that we need daily to get to the goals that we see for ourselves. And I'm going to bring up this Bible verse as well that I think coincides with that. Now, I'm a person of faith, and maybe you are too. And even if you're not, I think there's something to get out of this. And the Bible verse is coming from Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And it says, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." So, this transformation definition, the core component, the key ingredient, the starter is all up here in our mind. And the term renew, because there's new is new. New is, hey, I got it. It still has new car smell. It's still fresh out the plastic, whatever you want to say. It's new. And adding renew, talking about the renewing, it's that over again. Like, it never has a chance to become outdated or played out or stale or expired. It's new every day. Like, every day you're thinking it, it's like it's the premiere. It has that grand factor to it. And I think that's something that was a big takeaway for me, especially I'm a driven person. I have these goals I see for myself, and I feel like the script that's running in my mind also has to be aligned with the efforts that I'm putting towards the vision that I have. That all has to be, all together. All has to be aligned. Because if you have anything that's anything other than what's aligning towards your vision, that's division, and you're dividing your efforts, you're dividing your mind towards your goals. So that's the thought I'm really trying to leave with everyone, because that's something that definitely hit me hard. It hit. Like, that definitely resonated for me. So I'm sharing that with you. Maybe, and again, I think we've all experienced this, where we get really down on ourselves. We start running a negative script within our mind. We doubt ourselves. Whatever the case may be, we don't have full confidence. And the things we're telling ourselves contradict the places that we're trying to really go. And I feel like the thoughts you are, you become. And I think that's clearly demonstrated with those two examples, one from the movie Michael and the other from the Bible verse. So I'm going to take this for me first, and I'm just sharing with you. Take whatever you feel like you could take, and leave the rest if it doesn't apply. But definitely, I think there's something to this, guys. I think there's something to changing your thoughts. And so for me, I'm looking at my vision and goal book right off here to the side. And one thing I started doing earlier this year was every day Not only was I reviewing, or most days, let me back up because I don't want to make a liar out of myself. Most days, I'm writing an affirmation and I'm reading my previous affirmations. And so I try to come up with like a new affirmation the times I went to that journal book and also review the old ones. And so by the end of the year, hopefully I have like hundreds or dozens of these affirmations that I will have created for myself. And again, that's the script I'm telling myself. I will be, successful. I will attract resources, things like that. And it may be different for you. So you may have different things you're working on. I challenge you. I challenge you. I challenge you to start tuning in and dialing in your frequency for success by making these affirmations and keeping them up here and renewing them. And here's another example of renewing them, because we talked about how at times you'll have the negativity that creeps in. Well, hey, that means it's time to renew your mindset. It's time to renew because it went stale, it went bad, it expired, and guess what? We need to renew our mindset again. And I guarantee you, this is what it feels like. As often as you renew, the more you hone in into what you need to be doing. Essentially, you're locking in, and I feel like it starts in the mind, and then everything else follows. So I want to wrap up with this. If this is your Gamma Vision talk for today, and I didn't do the drop, maybe I'll put that in post. If that's your Gamma Vision, I want to say that for your hockey grounding, I think it's important to have the mindset of Killer B from Naruto. And if you remember Killer B, when he was a child, he had the Jinchuriki experience of where everyone hated him, and I think everyone could, every Juriki Tail Beast host could relate, because it's just, you're gonna get a lot of hate. But what I liked about Killer B is that he wouldn't let that affect his whole groove. He was just like, he was like the literal definition of thick skin, and whatever didn't align with what he saw for himself, it didn't impact him. And so I want to leave you with that for your hockey grounding is, again, renewing that mindset as often as you need to. Even if it's more than daily, if you have to do it hour by hour, do it, because you will become the thoughts you think regularly. And if there's anything I learned from watching Killer B and the way he just moved within the Cloud Village is, don't let these people ruin your frequency. Don't let them distort your frequency. Don't let them try to turn your frequency down. Don't let them try to, change it. Don't let them try to contain it. You just vibe out the way you're supposed to, and don't worry about the rest. You just got to stay focused on what you got to do. So that is your hockey grounding for today. And lastly, we got to have our daily sensu bean. So let's get that in there too. Let's do it one more time. I like that. I don't know about you, but every time I think of the sensu bean drop, I think about Goku giving Cell the sensu bean before he faced Gohan. And I think when we all seen that for the first time, we're like, Goku, what the heck are you thinking? The fate of the world depends on the outcome of this fight, and you basically give your ops, a full restore. So what's good? That's not cool. That's a Pokemon reference. Giving him the full restore mid battle. We know we spam that a lot during the Elite Four passage, but that's what comes to mind when I hear that drop. Today's sensu bean, our daily sensu bean, is brought to you by avocados. So avocados are a great source of fiber, a great source of fat, and they contain anti-inflammatory and antioxidant compounds. And while they are very nutritious, they are also pretty filling with calories. So watch out for that. Maybe don't eat a few avocados in one sitting, but I think one is okay. I'm not trying to tell you how to go about your diet, but one avocado, for example, could give you right around 300 to 350 calories. So that's a lot. And you can probably get around 4 grams of protein and right around, maybe 10 grams, maybe 12 grams of fiber. And you'll hear me mention this over and over again: fiber, fiber, fiber. If there's one takeaway from this segment, is please get your fiber, because it'll help with your blood sugar, it'll help with your blood cholesterol, it'll help with your blood pressure. So if you're looking at these different labs related to those three areas that I mentioned, fiber helps. So definitely get your fiber. It's also filled with vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K, B2, B3, B5, B6, folate, magnesium, potassium, copper, and manganese. And avocados, what I love about avocados is that they're pretty, you can integrate them with most things that you already eat now. So if you're a cottage cheese lover, well, you can put some avocados with the cottage cheese, make a mix, and now you have like a really cool, heart healthy kind of dip here. With that, also has a lot of protein from the cottage cheese and a healthy fat. So maybe that can be something you do. You can put it in a smoothie. Again, the texture is very mushy, so it mixes and blends well. The flavor's not overpowering, so that's an added bonus. Of course, you can just eat it by itself, slice it up, put it with your taco salad, put it on toast, eat it by itself. It's amazing. So that is your daily senzu bean. Go find some and at your local market, and watch some of your health concerns kind of be supported by getting this high fiber, healthy fat food. So that's your daily senzu bean. And lastly, as we wrap up here for today, I want to, okay, where are we going? Okay, there we go. Gotta get the music. It's not cool to close it out without having the music. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. The goal is to get to 50 subscribers. I think we're 10 subscribers away. So share, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and let me know what you would like to hear next. I do have a little bit of a surprise announcement. One of the upcoming episodes will have, again, this featured guest I've been talking about. So I'm really excited to bring this guest on, and I think you guys will get a lot out of that conversation. So I'll see you guys when I see you. Take care.